Hi, I'm Mel Pickup, Chief Executive of Bradford Teaching Hospitals, and welcome to this month's roundup of stories from across the Trust. We kicked off the month by meeting Patrick Murphy, one of the volunteer presenters on our wonderful St Luke's Sounds Hospital radio station. Patrick told us about his love of music and brush with fame as one of the oldest hospital radio DJs in the country.
The lady who was in charge here at St Luke's, she got on to David and says, "Will you ask Patrick if I can do it on telegraph and hours?" And then people started ringing me. I've had CDs come from amateur groups from Northern Ireland, from Newbridge, where I come from. They were coming out of the woodwork with these CDs. I enjoy thoroughly what I do. I can play all my favourite music, but I make sure that the music is right for the people as well. They have a children's ward here, and I think the lady in charge of it, she says, "Don't you have any music for kiddies?" And the only one I could find was "The Wheels on the Bus Go Round and Round." So I played it, and all the kids were singing up there. And she rang me, she said, "Patrick, it's fantastic," she said. They're all singing up here, the kids. Can you get some more?"
We also heard from research fellows Dr Kate Lightfoot and Hannah Nutting about the Born in Bradford Age of Wonder project. Here they are to tell us about how the project works with schools to capture the journey through adolescence and adulthood for teenagers in Bradford.
So Age of Wonder will be the largest study of adolescence in the world. And the way that we do that is that we're administering surveys in years 8, 9 and 10 on a range of topics that are relevant to young people's growing up experiences.
We're wanting to work with 38 secondary schools across the entire project. We're over halfway now, which is a really nice milestone to hit.
Having that kind of breadth of data is really important, and we can learn a lot from that.
We're going to be able to provide feedback to the schools every year that they participate, and because we've designed it with students, they've told us what's important to them. So we're asking questions about things like mental health, the effects of the pandemic, the cost of living crisis, school life, bullying, everything that's making up their teenage experience. We'll be able to provide feedback to the schools and then help them to do something about it. So it's research with a purpose, not just research for research's sake.
Thank you, Kate and Hannah. And finally, for the podcast this month, I got the chance to sit down with consultant ENT surgeon, Professor Chris Raine MBE, to hear about his incredible charity work in Malawi, restoring hearing to people of all ages through the use of cochlear implants.
Through the support of Medel, one of the implant companies, we have headed up a cochlear implant unit and teaching Wakisa how to do them. So to date, we've done 19 surgeries since 2014. Part of my role in the World Health Organization is criticising NGOs, and you've got to stop the fly-in and fly-out mentality. And what we decided is to give longevity and sustainability. So to date, over several years of training, we've got approaching 50 clinical officers, and we've equipped them with basic outpatient facilities, and they can go out into their villages and townships to do care.
You can hear the full episode of my chat with Chris by subscribing to the podcast. It's available in all the major podcast providers. Simply search Let's Talk with Mel Pickup. Well, that's it for this month's update. I look forward to sharing more stories from the Trust with you next month. Don't forget, all our latest news and updates can be found on our social media channels, Twitter, LinkedIn and Facebook.